Drew Hannafin, strong safety, wide receiver.
Jay Twig, running back, D-back.
David Maddox, wide receiver, corner.
Jake Tennis, tight end.
Caden Broom, right tackle.
Phil Pelt, wide receiver, outside linebacker.
Bryce Gelly, quarterback.
Justin Ullman, fullback, linebacker.
Cole Langley, offensive line.
Reed Conrad, defensive end and tight end.
Sam Sinclair, offense and defensive line.
Gabe Wallen, offensive back and defensive linebacker.
Wyatt Lyle, outside linebacker, cornerback.
Scott Easterhuff, wide receiver, outside linebacker.
Good, buddy.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Ozarks Sports Report Show here, joined with the head coach of the Clever BlueJays, Coach Jeff Stone. And for today's show, we got a preseason preview to talk about with the head coach of the Clever BlueJays, Coach Jeff Stone. This is going to be the first ever varsity season that will be played for Clever football for this year. Clever football was moved to the Big Lakes Conference a couple years ago after they left the SWCL, football was the main reason why Clever did leave the SWCL. So as we now talk to Coach Stone, what will be the fundamentals that you will be teaching for this 2020 fall season for varsity football for the first time ever in Clever?
I think the biggest challenge for us will just be the jump from JV to varsity. Friday night's a whole different speed. Coaches prepare for you. Opposing players watch your film. The game's a lot faster. I think just what we're trying to teach right now and get through to our kids is the game's going to move a lot faster on a Friday night versus what they saw last year on Monday night.
Games do move a lot faster in Friday Night Lights. And this will be, once again, the first season for Friday Night Lights in the Christian County Panhandle, which is where Clever is located in Christian County. So now, not two, but three, right along Highway 14, Ozark, Nixa, and Clever. So what does this do for the city of Clever and also for Christian County to have three varsity football teams in the county?
I mean, for us, it just gives an option for our kids to, play a sport that wasn't available on this side of the county. It does a lot for the small to medium-sized school. We're a Class 2 school. It adds another dimension to the Stratford, Fairgrove, Forsyth, Hollisters. Just really, for us, it gives something for people to look forward to, for the community to look forward to, having Friday Night Lights on this side of the county.
Does look forward to have Friday Night Lights to look forward to inside of the county, in Christian County here in Clever. And so another thing to talk about is during the county, or here in the county of Christian County, when you compare with Nixa and Ozark, who are both Class 5 and in the COC, is it going to be like a fight to see like where you're going to draw other communities from that don't have football, say like nearby Billings, Spokane, Hurley, Crane, and some of the other schools that are in the eastern parts of the county?
You mean as far as like drawing kids?
Yes.
What I think it does do is if you're a young family and you're moving out of the Springfield area or moving out of Republic or Ozark or Nixa, it gives you another option as far as a community to move to raise your family. there's a lot of parents out there that want to give their kids every option, whether that be basketball, baseball, and now you add football to Clever's. The options available to families. I think you're gonna draw some families that may otherwise move to a different community. They see that we offer football. I think it does help your community grow a lot.
It does help your community grow a lot here, and also is a benefit for the county now that you guys will have more media options coming to Friday Night Lights in Clever. And so now the Mid-Lakes has almost now every team now in the Mid-Lakes will have varsity football with Clever, Stratford, Fairgrove, Forsyth, Buffalo, Skyline, and Stockton. So for the conference, what does that mean for Clever to have varsity football?
Well, I think when you talk about the teams in the Mid-Lakes, Forsyth is pretty new to football. But when you talk about the rest of those schools, there's a lot of tradition, a lot of winning in those schools. You look at Skyline, Fairgrove, Stratford, Stockton. You are looking at really a lot of tradition in football. And Clever, we're just the small guy chopping our axe, and we can't be mentioned in the likes of those teams right now. But we hope that in time, if our kids work hard and our community invest, that one day we can be, mentioned with the likes of those teams.
Just hope to be mixed in the likes of those teams in the Mid-Lakes Conference. And now as we talk about what are the fundamentals that you'll be teaching of football to your team?
You mean what kind of fundamentals? Like we've got to learn what like to tackle somebody on a Friday night. The running back or the guy carrying the ball on the Friday night's running a lot harder, and it's bigger and older than the guy on Monday night. So for us, the fundamentals that we're teaching are just blocking, tackling, being able to block. A senior, 18-year-old kid, just adjusting to that difference between a Monday night JV kid and a Friday night varsity kid.
It is a big difference in varsity on Friday nights. And so we're now in the middle of a pandemic with the COVID-19 going on. What are you telling your players before every practice and before every game so they help stop the spread of the coronavirus?
Honestly, we're just following the CDC recommendations and the Christian County Health Department guidelines. We're social distancing during practice. We've spread our watering stations out. Kids are bringing their own water. We're not sharing water. We're cleaning everything, the balls, the equipment after every practice. We are taking temperatures before they head out to practice. We are just doing everything in our power. Coaches are wearing masks to just comply with what the health professionals believe will keep this virus away from our team, and that's what we're doing.
Just keeping this virus away from the team. And now, looking at your first ever game, you guys will play Willow Springs, which will be the home opener. It will be the first ever varsity game to be played at Clever. So, what are your players looking forward to? What's the city going to be looking forward to? And what are your coaches going to be looking forward to for the first ever varsity game that you guys will play against Willow Springs here at Clever?
Willow Springs, the team that's coming off a 6-6 year, really a breakthrough year for them, and I think their kids have figured it out. They figured out how to win. They are on a winning trend. Their coaches do a good job getting their kids ready, and we know that coming into the game that we're going to face a very physical SCA, just a traditional SCA tough team, and their kids will be ready to go and ready to continue that wave of success in 2020, and we just hope that we've worked hard enough and that we have put in enough time that we can be able to compete in that football game.
Just hope to be able to compete in that football game when you guys take on, once again, Willow Springs. Willow Springs coming from Howell County. They're in the SCA. Clever from Christian County. They are in the Mid-Lakes Conference. And so, another thing is, who are going to be some key players that are going to be, the city's going to be looking forward to, and that the Mid-Lakes will have to be prepared for coming from Clever?
Well, I would love to tell you a bunch of individual players, but to be honest with you, we haven't played a varsity football game yet, and I feel like, honestly, if I'm going to talk about anybody, I really just need to talk about our whole senior class. We have a very strong senior class that has committed to being at every weightlifting session. They've been to every summer thing. They put in extra work. Honestly, I'm just looking for our whole senior class to make a big impact and lead our football team and show our younger players how to handle themselves in the field. So if I had to pick some kids to watch, I think you should watch our whole senior class.
Watch the whole senior class coming from the Blue Jays from Clever. Once again, they are going to be playing their first ever varsity season. They're at Clever. And so in Missouri, you need to have 2 seasons of JV football before varsity football can come into play. And so when we saw back in 2017, this was before Clever had football for the high school level, but you guys had football for the junior high level. And so which meant that Clever was still in the SWCL, which does not play football with the likes of Crane, now Purdy, Southwest, along with Blue Eye, Galena, Sparta, and Spokane, which they do play fall baseball. 2017, the Clever Blue Jays did win the SWCL championship from the likes of head baseball coach Justin Snyder. So, what do you know about Justin Snyder when he takes his coaching duties on the diamond?
What do I know about Coach Snyder?
Yes.
Coach Snyder puts a lot of work into making his kids good. There isn't anybody that tries harder to get his kids ready to compete on a yearly basis. He covers all the bases. He's a great program guy. Really, a good friend and a fun colleague to work for. But we're lucky to have a few baseball players on our football team, and they do a good job for us. And it's been easy to coach them.
It's not easy to coach them. It is. And so now one other thing is you guys do play, or excuse me, what will be the expectations that will be coming into the Mid-Lakes Conference?
Could you repeat that?
Expectations for the Mid-Lakes Conference?
Well, it's a very tough conference, very good teams. I try not to place expectations on our kids. If we're going to talk about expectations, the expectations we have as a coaching staff is just that our kids work the hardest possible and that they demand that their teammates work as hard as possible too. I'd say those are our expectations.
Expectations is for players to work hard and their teammates to also work hard as well. As you know, football, it is a lot of hard work to maintain or to reach your achievements. And so now you guys will be playing to make it to Columbia, which is where the state football championships are located over at Farrow Field, home of the Mizzou Tigers. Before that, it was in St. Louis at the home of the Rams, the Dome in America Center, the actually former home of the Rams. And then it was down in Springfield over at Plaster. So what do you think this would be if Clever was to make it to state in their first ever year of varsity football?
Well, I think that's every coach's goal and dream is to someday coach in a state title game. I think that if you talk to any coaches that have played a state title game, I think it's just taking one game at a time. I try not to think about those things. I just try to think about the next opponent on the schedule, which is Willow Springs, and I really don't let my mind go anywhere else but that. Just get our kids ready for that first Friday night and, try to execute very well and let the chips fall where they may in the rest of the season.
Let it all play into the rest of the season. And now moving on to the other side, this is going to be referring to college football with our local team, Missouri State. They will play Oklahoma there on September 12th. It was supposed to be later in August, but it was moved back because of this ongoing pandemic. So, knowing from Coach Petrino when he's going to be taking on the Oklahoma Sooners down in Norman, what do you think it's going to be if Missouri State wants to hang in with Oklahoma?
I think, it's a very tall order when you take an FCS school and try to play an FBS school. I do know that Coach Petrino has won a lot of football games in his career, and he's done a great job, and I've been excited to see some of the players that he's brought in, and I really wish him the best of luck. And it's not impossible, and you just have to execute really well and be playing at a very high level, and anything can happen. But I wish him the best of luck.
Wish him the best of luck. It is when the Missouri State Bears will take on Oklahoma down in Norman. And so a little bit about Coach Petrino is he did produce a Heisman-winning quarterback, and he also produced last year's NFL MVP in Lamar Jackson with the Baltimore Ravens. And so you know that he has a pretty big resume because he coached at Louisville, he's coached at Nebraska, now at Missouri State, and I believe he has also coached at Arkansas, if I'm correct.
Yes, he has won everywhere he's been. I got the chance to listen to him speak at a coaching clinic this last winter and was very impressed with him and his staff and their presentation and the kind of athletes they've had and what they do to get their offense ready. And really, I think he's going to do some really good things in Springfield.
He'll do some really good things in Springfield. And so now, what is going to be the clever way of coaching that you coach your players during every practice and before every game?
Well, I think that if you ask my players what my coaching style is, I want to have fun. I want to practice very hard, and I'm not so much about practicing for length as I am practicing for quality. We try to have very good practices and be detailed in what we're doing, and we have a good time and we have good relationships. And I hope that my players would say the same. And really. Wins and losses don't at the end of the day, in 10 years from now, these kids won't remember the wins and losses, but they'll remember the relationships they have with the kids they played with and the coaches that coached them. And that's what I hope that our kids remember when it's all said and done.
Just hope what the kids remember though, when it's all said and done is you said that the wins and losses won't matter, but it's going to be the relationships that they will have with their teammates and also their coaches as well. And now another question is that we're going to be the big words that you lecture to bring a win to your locker room.
The big words?
Yes.
Hey, play hard and play physical. Leave it all on the field.
Play hard, play physical. Leave it all on the field. And now one thing that you would say that describes the Clever Blue Jays on the field is what is going to be that one word? What is one word that describes the Clever Blue Jays?
I think our saying for this year is wings back, and I think that just means for our team, wings back just means that we're gonna attack aggressively, and we're not gonna have any regrets, and we're gonna leave it all out there. I think those are the two words.
Leave it all out there and wings back for this Clever team. Once again, this Clever team takes on Willow Springs at home. That will be the first ever varsity game that comes to the Panhandle of Christian County. And so once again, we will not have two teams. We'll have three teams in Christian County of Nixa, Ozark, and Clever, all along Highway 14 that will have varsity football, with Nixa and Ozark in the same conference as the COC, and Clever now in the Mid-Lakes Conference. And so as we're about to wrap this one up, is there any final words you are going to say to the 9 teams that are going to be playing for this year? What are going to be your words to every 9 coaches and every 9 team, every team that you're going to be playing this year, all 9 teams that you're going to be playing?
We look forward to it. Hope everybody stays healthy and has fun, and we can get after it.
Hope everyone stays healthy, has fun, and just to get after it. And that will end today's show for today. We hope you enjoyed our show. We hope you enjoyed us sitting down with the head coach of the Clever Blue Jays, Coach Jeff Stone, as we talk about the upcoming game as the Clever Blue Jays will host the Willow Springs Bears for the first ever varsity game in the Panhandle of Christian County. Friday Night Lights will come to Clever as we'll see once again the Clever Blue Jays take on the Willow Springs Bears. And that will be on Friday, August 28th at 7 p.m. If you'd like to stay connected with the Clever Blue Jays through their social media, be sure to like them on Facebook, follow them on Twitter. Their Twitter is at Clever Football. Once again, it's Clever Football on Twitter. And also check out their website. Their website is at cleverbluejays.org. Once again, cleverbluejays.org. Also check out nisha.org for their schedule. Once again, I will say this again. The Clever Blue Jays will host the Willow Springs Bears here at Clever for the first ever varsity football game on August 28th. If you'd like to stay connected with Ozarks Sports Report through our social media, be sure to like us on Facebook, also follow us on Twitter. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Instagram, and check out our website. Our website is ozarksportsreport.wixsite.com/ozarksportsreport. One final time, we want to thank head coach Jeff Stone of the Clever Blue Jays for sitting down with us to prepare for the upcoming football season, and we also like to wish the Clever Blue Jays and Coach Jeff Stone a great season as they will get ready to host both